Hey, welcome back. The Astros are on top of the Rockies 4-2 in the bottom of the fifth inning. And we're going to break down a shortstop play right here with Clint Barmas in the last half of that inning. You see he circles the ball here, slow roller, looks it all the way into the glove, but watch the transfer right there. Gets himself in a good throwing position right away. That's what the good shortstops do. They can make that quick transfer.
Buchholz to Sullivan. And it is called a strike.
You know, we were talking about the transfer. What you do is as you bring it up to your glove, you're reaching in with it, and that's where he made the good transfer right there. You stick your whole hand in there so you don't just grab it with the two fingers. You go in with your whole hand, and then as you make that transfer, that's when you get the good grip on the ball.
Trying to get that four-seam grip.
Yeah, that's what you try for. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but this is typically what you want to try to do. We'll take a look at Clint here. He circles the ball to get himself in a better throwing position. Look at where his head is. Now he looks up because he already knows where the glove's going to be. He looks up and already picks up his target at first. As soon as you let go of that throw, you made a good throw. You know it. You just go into the dugout, into the inning.
This ball lined to left, right at Wilson. And that may have gotten up in the lights. Preston with a big smile on his face, putting his hand to his chest and whoa.
Well, it's a good swing by Corey. He hit the ball good to left field. Just hit the ball where it's pitched. You see Preston coming in. Now he's fighting the lights. There's a bank of lights. It's not too, I mean, it's high, but when that ball is not above it, it'll go right in there. It blinds you just for a second. We saw it earlier this year with Barry Bonds. The same thing happened. A line drive to left field. Same result. It was caught, but very difficult catch.
0-1 on Jamie Carroll. Jamie's 2 for 2 in the game. Bounced a double over the head of Morgan Ensberg, and then a single through the right side of the infield. 4-2, Houston leading, bottom of the fifth.
Here's the bank of lights I was talking about. It's right into the left fielder's eyes. You can see some of the glare, and what happens is if it's below, oh, sorry about that. If it's below those lights, then it's tough to see. You can pick it up. I'll show you here in a second. The bank of lights, if it gets up here, you're okay, or here, you're okay. You don't want to be in this area, though. That's the bad area, the danger zone.
That's pretty scary. All of a sudden, you can't see the baseball.
You can't.
Slider missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Hilton on deck. Rockies scored 2 runs with only 1 hit last inning. Only 1 of the runs was earned. Buchholz has been as good as advertised. Easy play for Biggio. 2 outs. Let's take a look at what's on tap, brought to you by Coors Light. Our television schedule mirrors the Rockies schedule. Tomorrow we're on the air with the pregame show at 5:30 right here on FSN Rocky Mountain. Sunday is getaway day for both clubs. We'll be on UPN 20 at 1 p.m. The Rockies Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from St. Louis. And the ball games on FSN Rocky Mountain. Pregame shows 5:30 Monday and Tuesday night. And then the Rockies over the weekend, we'll see the Astros again down in Texas. Strike 1 on Helton if you're just jumping on board tonight. Todd in his first game back after missing 14 ball games. The team went 8-6. Todd's 0 for 2 tonight. Sharp ground ball to first and a pop fly to left. Only the second time in his career that Helton's been on the disabled list. The first time last year he had a calf injury and he came back from missing a couple of weeks and was on fire upon his return. You think, well, maybe be a little bit of a slow start, get back in the groove. No, he came out, hit everything in sight. Not a good at bat there. Helton goes down swinging at a pitch over his head. 1-2-3 inning for Buchholz. 5 are complete. 4-2 Houston. Is brought to you by Mako, America's Body Shop, by your Front Range Jeep dealer, and by Rico. Move your ideas forward with Rico dependability. Young Kim will have Jason Lane, Brad Ausmus, and the first pitch is a slow ground ball. Carroll picks up and throws out Lane, and after Ausmus will come Adam Everett. Young Kim has pitched a good ball game. He trails 4-2.
Well, he has. He's just had a couple unfortunate pitches to Preston Wilson, but he has actually pitched outstanding, I think. Just a couple, I hate to say mistakes because it's easy to say they were mistake pitches. He just hit them where they weren't.
He hit 2 fly balls that dropped into right field with runners on base. I mean, there have not really been maybe 1 or 2 balls hit hard. Biggio's double was hit hard. This is chopped up the middle. Carroll got a good break on the ball. Strong throw, 2 outs. Ausmus is retired. He has struck out 9 in the ball game. At times he's been dominant. But he's on the short end right now, 4-2. You know what the Rockies need more than anything, and this has not really occurred yet this year. They have not put together, forget one game, they haven't put together 2 or 3 games in a row where they put up an 8 spot, a 10 spot, a 9 spot. I mean, they've had series before, as everybody knows, at Coors Field. Even the last few years when they have not won a ton of baseball games, but they've had series, you know, where they scored 28 runs.
And you're right that it's surprising it has not happened yet this year. It will eventually, and those things come in waves. You'll get one game where you score 5, 6, 7, something like that, but they're due for one of those type innings.
Well, they're due to put together, you know, 3 or 4 nights like that. It just has not occurred as of yet. I mean, because it's a good offensive team. The thing that really is perplexing is they're going out on the road and they're averaging almost 7 runs a game on the road through 15 road ball games. And here at Coors Field, they've averaged 3 runs a game less than what they're doing on the road.
People always ask, why is that happening? I know that's the question that I get. Hey, but why do they play so much better on the road? Why, you know, what's wrong at home? One of those things about baseball that make it unique and make it great. Sometimes you don't have an answer for those type of things.
Tough to figure. Adam Everett doesn't chase the slider. It's 3-2. Everett struck out in the second and hit a bloop single to right in the 4th inning. And this is a pop fly to Brad Hawk. 1, 2, 3 inning from Young Kim. 8 pitches. So BK doing his part. Rockies look to get it going offensively in the bottom of the 6th. 4-2, Houston has led throughout the ball game. Hey, for an insider's look at what's going on with the Rockies and also around the league, don't forget to read Tracy Ringolsby's column tomorrow in the sports pages of the Rocky Mountain News. He had good stuff in today's Rocky Mountain News. Here's a Cowboy. Just a thumbs up. He's playing it cool today.
Yeah, he didn't take his hat off and tip it to us. I'm a little disappointed.
We'll have to have a chat with him. Garrett Atkins will lead things off for the Rockies. Garrett 0 for 1 and a walk, scored a run in the 4th inning.
Fans, don't forget this Sunday is Player Autograph Sunday. Every Sunday home game, 105 start against the Houston Astros. Come to the ballpark by 11:40. Call 303 Rockies for more information this Sunday. Player Autograph Sunday.
You know, a couple of days ago, the papers locally in Houston and across the country awash with the courtship again of the Astros and I'm sure others. This is a base hit left side of the infield of Roger Clemens. Clemens has to be looking in at his hometown team, the team he played for last year and went to the World Series with, to say, you know what, they're scoring a lot more runs this year.
They are. We'll take a look at the replay here by Garrett. This ball just comes back into his zone right there, drives it in the hole between short and third. But you're right, you know, that it's got to drive some of the players. Yeah, they would love to have him back, but I think the constant distraction, hey, is he coming back? Is he not coming back? Is he coming back? After a while, that starts to wear on you, especially with the team that's playing well. Yes, he is Roger Clemens, and I think everybody would welcome him back with open arms.
Big swing from Holiday. It's 0-1.
But even if he's ready to go, I mean, it's still probably a month away unless he's been throwing in the backyard.
Yeah, I don't pretend to have any idea as to what Roger Clemens would do. The easiest thing, though, for him to do would be to play for the Astros. I mean, he lives in Houston. They've afforded him the opportunity the last couple of years to really be a part-timer. I mean, he's earned that right. He's got 340 wins plus, and he's one of the greatest pitchers of all time. So, I mean, he would fly in the day before he pitched. He would be able to go to his kids' games. I mean,
he had a good setup
there.
Had
an
and you're right, though.
Setup.
He deserves it. Nolan Ryan had the same thing when I played with him with the Rangers, and those guys deserve those special treatments.
No swing, 2-1.
But the difference is, you know, in between starts, they're doing their work. They're going to be prepared when they come back to pitch.
Oh, obviously. But the thing is, you know, if he's going to come back and pitch, and you can make an argument, he didn't have the run support. You can make an argument he had the best season of his career last year. He's had some great ones. I mean, he was that dominant, lowest ERA in the National League. But he would be coming to a team that has another chance at winning a world championship. That's fouled off, 2-2.
And I think that's the thing that draws any athlete is the opportunity to win. You know, he has all the money that he needs. Where am I going to have the best opportunity to win a World Series ring?
Ramon Ramirez getting loose. Astros, like everybody else, no match in the postseason for the Chicago White Sox last year. Holiday to be followed by Brad Hopp.
We saw Ramon Ramirez warming up there. The pitcher spot's coming up in four spots from now, so Clint's already thinking ahead. Who can he possibly pinch hit? You know, if it gets to that situation.
Holiday a double to left and a single to right. Bottom of the 6th inning. Game time temperature at 7:05 when we got underway tonight was 43 degrees.
Good thing is there's no wind tonight, so that helps a little bit. Talked about the temperature and 43 degrees, and you know, as a player, what do you do to stay warm? You see right here, Morgan Ensberg's got his hand in his back pocket. A lot of times the guys will put the things that you use in your ski gloves or your boots, those hand warmers, you'll put them back there because you need to be able to feel the ball, grip it when you catch the ball to make a good throw. If your hand's cold, it feels like you're throwing a grate basically out there.
Foul ball. I haven't thrown a grape since I was a kid. Those are hard to throw, though.
They're very difficult. They slip out of your hand. They don't feel right.
No. I'm trying to remember back.
You don't need to think that far back, but okay, an orange or something like that, just something that's slippery.
Well, I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Holiday as he has fouled off a slew of pitches. Atkins at first, nobody out. 4-2 Houston. Ausmus set up inside. which would indicate, in all likelihood, fastball.
A fastball, or sometimes catchers will do that. They'll set up inside when they're throwing across. They like to play games with the guys out there. See, it's going to be a breaking pitch down, and he wants it down in the dirt area.
Shallow center field, going out, making the play is Everett, 1 out. Buchholz wins that battle with Matt Holliday. And here comes Brad Hawk.
Brad's had some good swings against Taylor tonight, and this is one of those opportunities where Brad can hit a home run at home with the runner and score, or runner on base. He's due for one of these. We talk about it all the time. Who has the advantage when you haven't faced the guy before is typically the pitcher. But before the game, Mike Hamilton and the video staff, those guys were running tape of Taylor from a game earlier against the Giants. And that's how you kind of get a feel for what a guy might have going into a ball game when you haven't seen him before.
That missed 1-1. I asked Brad before the ball game, I said, is mom cut out the National League batting leaders yet? Put it up on the refrigerator or saved it? And he said, I'm not sure, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Well, knowing my mom and the way she was, yeah, I know she's cut it out. And rightfully so. They put a lot of time and effort driving the kids to all their games when they were little and hauling them around. This is some of the fruits of the labor, so to speak.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Brad Hawk. And Hawk pulls it foul. Rockies trying to rally against Buchholz. The 24-year-old rookie, originally drafted by his hometown Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah, came over from the Phillies in the Billy Wagner deal. He said he grew up as a Phillies fan. He was disappointed when he got traded, just from the standpoint of when you grow up idolizing a team and then you get drafted by him, you think you're going to be with them forever. He's come over to a good situation with the Astros.
And this is pulled to first. Berkman knocks it down, and he will get to the bag to get an out. He has had his problems tonight defensively. He had the throwing error, which led to a couple of runs for the Rockies, and he had another double play ground ball there. And he gets just 1 at the bag, so Garrett Atkins to second base.
Well, Brad hit this ball pretty good, but right now Lance was thinking about the throw he made earlier in the ball game. Before he even caught that ball, he was like, oh no, I've got to make a throw here. Sometimes that happens as a fielder. You start to think ahead before you do one thing, and the most important thing, and that is catching the baseball first.
Now Clint Barmas coming up, and we've been focusing in on him and his position all night long. Here's some more with Clint.
With Clint Hurdle, you know, he's been great for what we need. Everybody's talked about how he's kind of new to the whole coaching thing, and now he's going on his third, fourth year. He's not new anymore, and you know, we're ready to win. I think he's going to be a big part of why, you know, of our path.
Barmas doesn't get the fastball there. It's 0-1. Clint has an RBI ground out in the ball game, that in the 4th inning. He's officially 0 for 2. Rockies scored just once last night. They won 3-0 against Cincinnati on Wednesday. So just 6 runs in 23+ innings now since returning from the road. It up behind second base. Everett once again will have it. And the Rockies got a leadoff base hit from Atkins. Nothing more. 4-2 Houston as we go to the 7th. Let's take a look at our Quest Spirit of Service game reset in the first inning. It's Byung-Hyun Kim with 2 outs. Preston Wilson, who's 12 for 17 in his career against BK, had a fly ball single. 2 more runs came around in the 3rd inning for Houston. Wilson, the catalyst once again. 3 RBIs tonight. The Rockies would get on the board, took advantage of an error on Lance Berkman, and an RBI ground out by Clint Barnes. Got another run home. 4-2 is our score. We've been locked in there since the 4th inning. Top of inning number 7. Kim remains in the ball game. And this should be a relatively easy play and foul ground for Todd Helton. 1 out. Let's go to the studio again and check in with Dave Benz. Another baseball update. Dave?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Drew. The Mets and the Braves, and Shea and Wilson Betterman. Top of the 11th, leads it off for the Braves with a solo home run. It's 7-6. The Braves are still batting in the 11th, and we'll keep you updated on that one.
Well, it was 6-2 Braves in that one. The Mets came back and tied it up. Those 2 teams look like they'll battle all season long, and don't count out the Phillies. Top of the order, Craig Biggio is 2 for 3, and he takes strike 1. Biggio's .408 career average at Coors Field, moving up a little bit, huh, Jeff?
Yeah, it is. He's just, it's hard to believe he's 40. I mean, he's been a catcher, he's a second baseman, a center fielder, back to second base now. It just doesn't seem like this guy has aged at all.
In the air right field, Brad Hopp. Well, he's playing the last couple of years without his buddy Jeff Bagwell. But for years, you talked about Houston, you talked about Craig Biggio, you talked about Jeff Bagwell.
Killer bees.
And I'll tell you what, not only great players, but they played the game the right way, and 2 of the classiest guys in the big leagues over the last 2 decades. And
they were fun to play against for that reason right there. They were classy, but they played the game hard. They played the game the right way. Tell you what, this is an important out right here in the ball game to get Tavares before Berkman comes up, still down just 2 runs going into the bottom of the 7th inning. You get Tavares out here. Kim's coming up second next inning. Clint will be looking for a pinch hitter for that role, but still a close ball game right now.
Two balls and a strike on Tavares. Byung-Hyun Kim has retired 10 in a row. Last to reach Biggio in the 4th inning with that RBI single, 2-2. By the way, there are 5 National Leaguers, Jeff, with the same team since opening day 1995. Biggio, Bagwell, Trevor Hoffman, John Smoltz, and Barry Bonds.
Some select company right there. But it just goes to show you what the heart and soul of the Astros, those 2 guys. There's another heart and soul guy right there for the Rockies.
And if you're trying to think back, when did Helton come up? Layton came up in 97. Boy, that just missed. 3-2.
BK wanted that pitch right there. You can see him kind of take a couple steps. He thought he had the outside corner right there. Hit the glove right where he wanted. Might have been off just a little bit, but he's been around the plate so much tonight that typically the umpires will give him that pitch.
Marty Foster has not had a particularly wide strike zone tonight. It's been a fair strike zone,
well,
but it has not been particularly wide.
No, he's going the width of the plate, which is okay as long as you stick with that, and that's what he's done tonight. You know, talking about looking into the bottom of the 7th, there's a possibility that They might hit for Danny.
Ground ball right side, sliding over Jamie Carroll. Well done by Carroll. And another 1-2-3 inning for Byung-Hyun Kim. 4-2, stretch time at Coors Field.
For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball. We're doing our 7th inning stretching here at Coors Field. Jason Smith will be the pinch hitter for the Rockies as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Colorado trailing Houston 4-2. Keith Blyer up in the triple deck, the third deck with my people. You know, earlier I shared with you my early votes for the National League All-Stars. It's time now to do it for the American League, and I suppose now we can all sit down up here. As Smith steps in, and Taylor Buchholz continues for the Astros. First pitch swung on and missed. All right. My American League All-Star votes. This is not a popularity contest. This is performance-oriented. Ben Brassard, the first baseman for Cleveland. If you don't know who he is, look up his stats. Very impressive. Smith falls behind 0-2. Robbie Cano, a dynamic young second baseman for the Yankees. Mike Lowell, the third baseman from the Red Sox. Miguel Tejada, all he's doing is leading all of Major League Baseball in hitting. Smith reaches out and grounds one to Berkman at first base for the first out. Victor Martinez, a hitting machine at catcher for Cleveland. Nick Swisher in the outfield with Vlad Guerrero, and then my guy Kevin Mench. Drew and Jeff, any guy who realizes about 10 games into the season that the shoes he's wearing are too small, and once he makes the proper adjustment, hits a home run practically every night, is my kind of all-star. Now, regarding the AL teams and the players we're talking about, the Oakland A's and the Rangers will be coming to Coors Field later this year, so you can see Swisher and Guerrero. All right, way downstairs, back to the broadcast booth as Ojeda takes a chance against Buchholz now, boys.
All right, Keith, thanks very much. So Smith grounds out. Miguel Ojeda, the second pinch hitter. Rockies have been held to just 5 hits tonight by Taylor Buchholz. He came in allowing the opposition in his 3 starts to hit 101 against him. And the Rockies haven't exactly torn the cover off the baseball. And Ojeda's retired. I mean, he got eaten up by that fastball in the inner half.
Well, you can see why he's had the kind of numbers that he's had. He's able to spot his fastball, run it up there 90 to 93. That one was 90. He's got the good curveball that really hasn't been affected tonight by the altitude or anything like that. He's very poised out on the mound for making as few starts as he has in the big leagues.
This is just his second road start. Corey Sullivan's 0 for 3, though he's hit the ball hard a couple times tonight. And he tried to drag a bunt. Was he in the box? He was, according to Marty Foster, because the ball hit him. And of course, if you get hit by the ball, once you've departed the box, you're out.
Well, the Astros were begging a little bit there. That ball ended up far away from him because it went off him while he was still in the box. But they were trying to steal an out if they could.
This is game 15 of a 20-game stretch for the Rockies without an off day. They will get an off day on the road trip coming up Thursday. They'll have an off day actually in Houston. They'll leave St. Louis Wednesday after the ball game, and Thursday catch up on some rest. Bit tough on the body, Jeff, I imagine.
It is, and you play 20 straight days. You want the day off. Unfortunately, it comes on the road. That happens sometimes, but you would like to have your off day at home, spend it with the family, but unfortunately, it's on the road, but you'll take it whenever you can get it.
And a ground ball at Everett. Buchholz has been marvelous. We'll go to the 8th inning, 4-2. Batman and Robin in the house, but the Riddler's winning. New catcher Miguel Ojeda. He replaces Danny Arduin. Jason Smith pinch hit for him. And the new pitcher is Ramon Ramirez. And if you followed the Rockies the last couple of weeks, you know the story of number 61. He came over in the Sean Chacon deal, and he has had a fabulous start to his big league career. He has pitched 10 innings without allowing a run. Most innings pitched this year without allowing a run, 19 for Duaner Sanchez. For the New York Mets, B.J. Ryan has got 13 1/3, the former Oriole. Paid a lot of money now to close games for the Toronto Blue Jays. Fernando Rodney has got 12 innings. He's a Tiger, isn't he, Fernando Rodney? And then Ramon Ramirez on that list. Longest stretch without giving up a run out of the bullpen this year.
That's impressive. He's got Lance Berkman to start off here, the top of the 8th inning, though. But I tell you what I like about Ramon, though, is he's aggressive in the strike zone. He goes right after you. He's not afraid of anybody. He gives you that bulldog approach, the guy that you want on the mound. I know Clint's very, very pleased with the effort that he's getting out of him. You know, guy comes in, not quite sure what you have. But I tell you what, he's really stepped it up once he got to the big leagues.
Berkman's 1 for 3. A double in the first inning down the right field line on a pretty good pitch. It was a broken bat double against Byung-Hyun Kim, one of 2 doubles tonight for Houston. The other one was really the best ball hit against Kim, and that was Biggio's double in the 3rd inning. Kim, very misleading line. Gave up 4 runs in 7 innings on 7 hits, walked 1, struck out 9. If Byung-Hyun Kim is going to pitch like he did tonight, and certainly like he did in Florida, he is going to win far more than he loses.
Oh, he will. Tonight was impressive. Like you said, there was only 1 or 2 balls that were hit hard. A couple that were hit out of the reach of guys, but he really backed up his performance, what he did in Florida, with another fine performance tonight. And then you talk about it, the 4 and the 5 hole pitchers. But I tell you what, BK solidified to me that 5th spot.
Yeah, there's no question. Byung-Hyun Kim, back-to-back outstanding starts. And where's that pitch? Just missed on the inside corner. What I like about Ramirez, he changes speeds with his fastball. And some people say, well, doesn't everybody do that? Not everybody does that.
Well, not everybody can control once they do that. That's the key to the whole thing. He's able to add a little bit, take a little bit off.
On the inside corner, strike 3.
That froze me for a second because I wasn't sure what Marty Foster was going to do. That was a great pitch by Ramon, and he just kind of stood there for a second like, okay, I'm going to call him out because it's such a good pitch.
Can I tell you what I think this was? I think this was a make good, because I don't think this pitch was as good as the last one. I think he missed the last one.
I would agree with you there. The last pitch did look a little bit better, and that's what Lance is arguing right there. You didn't call the one before it. How are you going to call that one?
Morgan Ensberg swings through it. Ensberg a walk and 2 strikeouts in the ball game. The other thing that's really impressive, Jeff, about BK's outing, Florida has a very young lineup. I mean, let's be honest about it. This is not a good team. They're in transition. The lineup he faced tonight at Coors Field at Hitters Park is among the better lineups in the National League. I mean, you have Berkman in the middle leading baseball with 36 RBIs, 11 home runs. You have Biggio up top above 300. You have Taveras right around 300. Ensberg 309, 9 home runs coming in. Wilson, Jason Lane, who doesn't have much of an average but has a lot of power in the 6 hole. Brad Ausmus hitting 347 in the 7 hole. Very formidable lineup.
Well, it is, and that's why they're 19-9. But you're right, the lineup that he faced in Florida the other day, out of, you take away the 3rd baseman Cabrera, there's not a whole lot of thump in that lineup, and you feel like, hey, I can get away with some pitches. Tonight you had to be on top of your game facing this Astro team.
Ramirez on top of his game again tonight. He just blew away Morgan Ensberg. Back-to-back strikeouts in the 8th.
When we talk about his fastball and being able to add some, take some off, there he just added some and elevated a little bit and just blew it right by Morgan.
Now he'll face Preston Wilson. Wilson 2 for 3 and 3 RBIs tonight. He came into the ball game 2 for 27 with runners in scoring position, and wouldn't you know it, first 2 times up, runners in scoring position, he came through. 2 balls basically off the end of the bat.
You know, and that's why you play the game, because you statistically you're saying no, there's no way he should do anything. He should. I mean, he hits BK well, okay, but then he drops a couple RBIs out there.
Well, the thing about Preston, and folks remember this from 2003, he had a great year with the Colorado Rockies that season. I mean, Wilson, 282 average, 36 home runs, drove in a National League best 141 runs. Preston will look bad and he'll strike out more than most people, but you know what? He'll also hit the ball 440 a few times.
He will, and the thing about him too is you just never know when that opportunity might come for him. You just, you know, take a look at Ramirez's number. He still has an ERA in a 10 2/3 of an inning so far. He's got 15 strikeouts, or 13, but he had the 2 that he just had already. He's just been impressive.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Wilson. See you later. Ramirez comes out of the pen and strikes out the side. The 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the Astro lineup: Berkman, Ensberg, Wilson. See ya. Colorado Rockies baseball on FSN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares farther. By your Front Range Chrysler dealer. And by the Taco Bell Chicken Caesar Grilled Stuffed Burrito, the burrito for Chicken Caesar salad lovers. Crowd of 21,694 tonight. I'm sure the weather kept some folks away. Jamie Carroll leading off in the 8th, a 2-run ball game. Rockies have retired 13 straight Astros. They just have not been able to muster much at all against Taylor Buchholz. They have single hits in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 6th. Carroll has 2 hits tonight.
Well, this is Taylor. That was Taylor's 101st pitch. I got to imagine that Phil Garner's looking ahead and saying, okay, you see it right here. Warman Mike Gay, can't even pronounce his name. Gallo, sorry.
Toward the hole, on through, base hit. 3-hit night for Jamie Carroll, and the all-important leadoff man aboard.
Well, this is
time to refresh your inner fan with Coors Light.
Who would you say is your favorite Rockies player? I got to go with Brad Hopp. Right fielder. He's a pretty solid player. I like him for sure.
Well, we've got ourselves a pitching change. Buchholz, the shirt tail coming out. He looks like a 24-year-old. He pitched very well. But now Phil Garner will go to his bullpen with Helton coming up. Well, Mike Gallo came in. He warmed up very quickly. His first pitch to Todd Helton. Helton hit a Baltimore chop over the head of Lance Berkman. It's 1st and 3rd, nobody out for the Rockies. Here's the swing by Helton.
Well, as he gets a fastball in, just enough that he got it over the top of Berkman's head. Gallo takes a look at it, realizes he's getting by. Welcome back, Todd. Very nice.
And Garner obviously will take Gallo out with Atkins and Holiday coming up. That's the only left-hander he has in the bullpen. Back in a moment. 4-2 Houston, but the Rockies threatening. Nobody out. At third base with a 3-hit night is Jamie Carroll, and Todd Helton with his first hit since his return is at first base. And Houston has turned to one of their setup men, Chad Qualls, making his 16th appearance.
Well, he's one of the dependable setup men for Phil Garner. Don't be deceived by his ERA. Yeah, it's a little high, but I tell you what, this guy has the stuff to close. He's got a fastball 89 to 94, some sinking action, good hard slider around 86 to 89. I tell you what, this guy comes in, and typically what he'll do, Phil will use him to set up to get to Brad Lidge.
the hometown kid, Brad Lidge. But first things first, the Rockies have a great opportunity here. Garrett Atkins, a single his last time up. This is only the second time in the ball game the Rockies have had 2 men on. And they have the right part of the lineup up. Holiday to follow Atkins.
You're right, Drew. This is the good part of the lineup. You got Atkins, Holiday, Hop. So far tonight, the Rockies are 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position compared to Houston, who's 4 for 7. This would be a good time for Garrett to come through right here.
Toward the hole. Oh, nice pickup. There's one. On the first double play, the Rockies do get a run. Well, Garrett Atkins, as great a year as he's had, he has hit into quite a few double plays, and that was an untimely one.
It was. He just chopped it down to third. I tell you what, Morgan Hinsberg got a great break on this. Caught it on the short hop, made a good throw to Biggio. Made a nice, easy relay throw to first base. And that one hurt right there, but that was a good play by Morgan Hinsberg at third base. You know, we talked about it. You know, he's got the stuff, sinking fastball, and that's what exactly the pitch he threw right there was a sinking fastball to Garrett.
Now Holiday up with 2 outs and nobody on in a 1-run game. Atkins has grounded into 9 double plays this year. That's 3 more than anybody else in the National League. Matt a double in the second, a single in the fourth. Popped out to short his last time up, 2 for 3. Qualls last year made 77 appearances. And he gets the ground ball to the right side. So Qualls comes in and does a very good job. He gets 2 ground balls. The run will be charged to Taylor Buchholz. The Rockies within a run as we go to the 9th. A 4-3 affair at Coors Field as we've arrived at the top of the 9th inning. With Jeff Houston and Keith Blyer, I'm Drew Goodman. Let's check in again with Dave Benz in the studio. Dave?
Hey, thanks a lot, Drew. Here's what's coming up for you on your FSN Live postgame report. Of course, we'll have all the postgame coverage from tonight's game with the Astros, including Clint Hurdle's postgame press conference, and we'll look ahead to tomorrow's game. Jason Jennings takes the hill for the Rockies. And also one other note, Drew, I know you know about this already. Big news involving the Denver Nuggets. We'll get into that as well. That's coming up following the Rockies and the Astros. Drew?
All right, Dave, thank you. Let's take a look at our Mako game summary. The Astros got off to a fast start. They led 4-0 before the Rockies put 2 on the board in the bottom of the 4th. And it's 4-3 right now. Preston Wilson, 3 RBIs against his former club. But the Rockies pitching has really settled in. Byung-Hyun Kim went 7 innings. He struck out 9. The last base runner for the Houston Astros was Craig Biggio with 2 outs in the 4th inning. And a pop-up off the bat of Jason Lane. 1 out. Now let's take a look at our Sonic Good replay of the ball game. Byung-Hyun Kim striking out the side in the 2nd inning, and Ramon Ramirez striking out the side, the heart of the order. 3, 4, and 5 in the 8th inning. Brad Ausmus up there with 1 out. 13 in a row set down by the Rockies. Check it. 14 in a row set down now by the combination of Byung-Hyun Kim and Ramon Ramirez.
Ramon just continues to impress me with the way he comes in and just fires strikes, one right after the other. And you mentioned it, he just mowed down the heart of the order last inning.
Most of our body temperatures 98.6. He may be a little cooler than that.
He sure seems like it. Nothing seems to face him.
going around. They didn't ask me.
Yeah, I thought he did too.
You know who's getting the ball in the ninth inning for Houston? Cherry Creek's Brad Lidge.
Take a look at the side swing right here. I think he held up, but from the naked eye, it looked like he might have swung. The fielding Colbreth got that one right this time.
On the inside corner.
They're looking into the bottom of the ninth inning. You're going to have a Hop, Barmas, and a pinch hitter. There's only a couple guys that had any sort of numbers against him. Gonzalez is 0 for 2, and Eli Marrero is 0 for 4 against Brad Lidge. So your options are a little bit limited with Smith already pinch hitting.
Boy, Osmus does not look real comfortable with Ramirez on the hill, does he?
He doesn't. And once again, it goes back to a guy that you haven't seen yet on the year. And the way Ramon's able to do different things with the ball, add some to his fastball, take a little bit off, throw the break-in pitch, and looking over the top of the glove there.
We've got to the 13th inning in New York, 7-7, the Mets in Atlanta. Washington shut out Pittsburgh earlier 6-0. Philadelphia over San Francisco 8-2. They've won 6 straight. St. Louis beat Florida 7-2. One pitch is up, 3-2. Arizona winning again. They're shutting out Cincinnati 7-0 in the 7th inning. Boy, they have put together a nice streak.
They win tonight, that'd be their 7th straight.
Told you it was a nice streak.
Yes, you did.
3-2 pitch, and it's hit well to right center field. Short hops the wall, and Osmus will have a double.
He's got a fastball out over the plate just a little bit and up. Osmus does a good job of driving it into the right center field gap. Brad Hop made a nice play off the wall here to get it in and make it even a little bit closer at second base than what it normally would be.
He has such a strong arm and such an accurate arm. I mean, there's some guys who can throw the baseball, obviously, in the big leagues, but his is one of the most accurate outfield arms. In-game box brought to you by Valero. Here's Adam Everett up there with a single tonight and 3 trips. Ramirez trying to keep it a 1-run game. Good slider. Prior to that hit, the league against Ramon Ramirez 4 for 38. That's amazing stuff. And now they're a whopping 5 for 39 against Ramirez.
See what kind of confidence Clint has in Ramon. And yes, Brian Fuentes is not here, but he slowly kind of worked his way up the depth chart, so to speak. He first came in, he used him in the 5th or 6th inning. Now he's starting to have the confidence. He knows that he can bring him into a ball game when it's 4-3 in the 8th inning.
On one hop at Barmas. Strong throw, and by a step he gets Everett.
Good job by Barmy here. It's a one-hopper. Hit decent, but sometimes you have to give ground a little bit. He just kind of waited for it, made a good, strong throw. All that was set up from his footwork. You see him right here. Gets it on the short. See his feet. His feet are directional towards first base. Comes over the top with a good, strong throw. Now he's kind of fixing the dirt there to make sure that that next ground ball that comes to him doesn't take a bad hop from some of the cleat marks that are out there.
Pinch hitter for Qualls will be Mike Lamb, veteran. 6 for 19 so far this year. All 6 of his hits singles. Osmus is at second base. 2 outs, the top of the 9th. And now Ojeda is going to go out and visit with Ramirez, maybe change the sequence in terms of the signs.
Well, that could be it. He could also be, sometimes you forget about how you were going to pitch a guy in between the start of the game and now all of a sudden in the 8th inning. You take a look at, you know, innings pitched without an ERA. Look at Ramon right there, 11 2/3. It's an impressive number for a young guy.
One ball, one strike.
Get back to that point just a second. That was a good job by Miguel just to go out there, double check to make sure, hey, this is how we're pitching this guy. Let's don't make any mistakes at this part of the ball game.
One and two. Job by Ojeda making sure that didn't go to the backstop. 2 and 2. The Astros 10-1 in one-run games this year. That's what we're looking at right now, 4-3. And the Rockies have been very good in one-run games as well. Not quite 10-1. 2-2 fouled off.
Been a good sequence for Ramon. He's throwing some fastballs, throwing some changeup, really keeping Mike off balance here at the plate. And sometimes you sit there, okay, now he's not quite sure what's coming.
Fastball, and he broke his bat, popped it up. Clint Barmas territory. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Brad Lidge will come on for Houston, and the Rockies are looking for 2 runs to win it. Hop will lead it off. Astros 4, Rockies 3. Colorado looking for their 8th comeback victory of the year. Rockies 8-4 in one-run games. As I mentioned a few moments ago, Houston is 10-1 this year. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Colorado Rockies. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of Major League Baseball and the Colorado Rockies. Brad Lidge on the mound. From Inglewood, Colorado, big star at Cherry Creek High School, went on to Notre Dame. This is his 17th appearance already. He has 11 saves. He has blown 2. And yesterday, he got the save against the St. Louis Cardinals.
Well, he's what can you say about Brad Lidge? I mean, he's led the league in strikeouts for relievers the last couple of years. He's got just an overpowering fastball at 94 to 97 and a hard slider, maybe one of the best in the game at 86, 88. You're going to get power right here, whether it's a power fastball or a power slider.
Hasn't been a great deal of success against him, but this year teams are waiting on him a little bit more because he throws that slider. And Phil Garner even admitted earlier today that sometimes he falls too in love with the slider. And he was looking at tape from a couple years ago when he was so dominant. He said guys were swinging at pitches that were out of the strike zone early in the count. They're laying off those right now. And like that.
Well, like that, exactly.
Hop stayed off the slider twice, and it's 2-0 instead of maybe 0-2.
When you're throwing 94 to 97 and you start off with 2 sliders, you have to understand the guys going to the plate, even against an all-star closer, thinking hey, they might take till they get a strike. And so you come out there throwing 2 sliders down in the zone doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
You know, Brad Osmus thinking this ball's jacked deep left center field. Way back, and it one-hops the wall. Hop will stop at second base with a lead double. He hit it to the deepest portion of the park, and Brad Hop, the tying run at second base.
Well, that's what we were just talking about. You fall behind 2-0. Now maybe Clint said, okay, go ahead and swing the bat. 2-0, you're going to get a fastball, and Brad Hop just did a great job right there, driving it into the left center field gap. But when you fall behind a hitter, especially one like Brad Hopp right now, who's swinging the bat pretty good, you see the reaction from the dugout there. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. That'd be great for the Rockies, but if I'm Phil Garner, I'm sitting there going, hey, son, you guys still got a pretty good fastball.
Yeah, it's really inexplicable. This guy, we've seen him hit 98. Too many guys catch up with that. Barmes with Hopp at second base. He gets the bunt down. Ensberg picks it up. This will tie up the game. Barmes in scoring position now. He's the winning run. Houston has had a problem defensively tonight, and it rears its ugly head again from their perspective. We're all tied at 4, and Clint Barmes, with nobody out, is at second base.
Just a great job by Clint Barmes, knowing that you have to bunt this fastball. Does a good job of getting it out in front and runs hard. Never know what's going to happen with the bunt. It makes it look so easy all the 99% of the time, but that one time, Ensberg just throws it up into the line. You see the reaction from the dugout. They're just, oh yeah, there we go. Very nice. Now you're going to get the same thing here. Chu's going to come up and bunt too.
Miguel Ojeda's on deck. Barmes, good speed at second base. Chu gets the bunt down. One play, and that's first. And that's a throw in the dirt. I'll tell you what, Brad Lidge, and you know what? He's a wonderful guy. I spent some time with him doing a long-form interview this offseason. He flat choked on that throw.
Well, he did, and that's what happens when the first guy throws it away. Then the next guy's worried about the same exact thing. It was a great job by Chu coming off the bench and having to lay a bunt down. I'll tell you what, Biggio picked him up right there big time at first base, but you're right, he just kind of choked that throw over to first.
And now Eli Marrero will pinch hit. So Marrero will pinch hit for Ojeda. The outfield comes in, the infield in. The winning run less than 90 feet away.
You see the outfielders, you're right, they got to come in a little bit closer because they can't have a regular fly ball and be able to throw the runner out from third.
And Ausmus has to shift way out to block that ball. Barmes at third base. 4-4. Rockies were down 4-0 at one point. Brad Lidge pitching in front of a whole bunch of friends and family. Here's the 1-1. 2-1.
Got the rally cap on there. So far, it's worked. This is where Eli, mentioned it earlier, 0 for 4 career against Lidge. I tell you what, he's looking right now for a fastball, just something he can get up in the air and get deep enough. And you got a good speed at third base. That's the key here. Barmes a good base runner with some speed.
3-1. Corey Sullivan is on deck.
Ausmus going out here. They just want to double check. Hey, Brad, what do you feel comfortable throwing? You want to throw the fastball here? You want to throw the slider? Don't worry if you want to throw the slider. If you keep it down, I'll block it. Whatever you want to do. You just let me know what you feel comfortable going with. This is where Eli, too, a 3-1 count. It's me, I'm looking for a fastball, dead red. That's his best pitch, I think. That's what I'd be swinging at right here.
He went slider, no swing. Marrero is at first. And now Sullivan will come up.
It was a good job by Eli holding up right here. You know, he was thinking the same thing I was. I'm thinking fastball, but he just had it just enough to hold on and not swing right there. Good job by Eli.
Dan Wheeler, look at this. They're going to go to the bullpen and pull their all-star closer out of the game with 1 out in the 9th. That is a most unusual occurrence in this game. Four ball game. I am very surprised. Brad Lidge, one of the elite closers in the game. Usually you're out there, win or lose or draw in the 9th inning. You don't even have to worry about anybody warming up. They got Wheeler up quickly, and with 1 out, they pull him out of the ball game for Dan Wheeler. And for the Rockies, Corey Sullivan coming up with a chance to win it.
Well, I don't understand that. I mean, you take a look at Wheeler's numbers right here. He's got a good fastball. He has a lot of confidence in it. He's 88 to 92 and a little short slider and the splitter, but down. But I just don't understand. In May, you're taking your all-star closer, your guy out of the game in this situation.
Can't do a lot for his confidence.
I wouldn't think so.
But that's their issue right now. The Colorado Rockies trying to pull off a nice little come from behind win. They were down 4-0. Looked hopelessly out of it the way Taylor Buchholz was cruising along, the 24-year-old rookie for Houston. Rockies came up with a couple of runs. They got a run in the 8th. And they got a run in the 9th. First and third, 1 out. Again, the infield in and the outfield very shallow. Any sort of deep fly ball, and Clint Barmes will score.
Be interesting to see here if Marrero takes off at first base. He's got to kind of stay out of a possible force situation, and then if that happens, then they'll think about walking Corey Sullivan to get to Jamie Carroll. There's all the things that are going through the manager's minds at this point on both sides of the equation.
And Davey Collins had said something to Eli Marrero right before Wheeler got back on the rubber, and I have to guarantee it that it was look for a move of some sort. Even though there's no run, there's no fielder holding you on, don't be caught napping.
Well, where the second baseman and shortstop are, you don't really have to worry about them even making a throw to second base.
Out of the strike zone, Marrero will take second. Now let's see what Phil Garner wants to do with first base open.
They'll probably put him on here to face Jamie Carroll.
Well, what he does, I mean, that's really the only play, because you set up an opportunity with 1 pitch to get out of the inning.
Well, you do, but the other thing about it is you have one of your best, other than Todd Helton, your contact hitter, a guy that you could possibly squeeze bunt with. You know, he's not really going to strike out. He's got good speed, tough to hit into a double play.
Listen, it's not a great situation either way for Garner. And so he's going to elect to pitch to Carroll and hope for the best. But you make a great point, Jeff. Carroll's a guy that gets the ball in play and runs very well. Now, the other part of the equation is Carroll typically is not a guy that's going to give you a deep fly ball.
Well, and that's the drawback. That's the one negative, if there is, with Jamie in this situation. The way the outfielders are playing in, he doesn't hit the ball typically far in the air.
Average arm in center with Tavares, plus arm in left with Wilson, and a plus arm with Lane in right. So here we go, bases loaded. Barmes 80 feet away from winning it with Jamie Carroll at the plate against Dan Wheeler. And that's in there for a strike.
Well, that was a good pitch by Wheeler. That short slider I talked about, that's not really a pitch you're thinking he's going to come out with. First pitch with the bases loaded. You look at the infield. The infielders are still in. They're not even backed up a couple steps in case, give themselves a little bit more range.
That misses 1-1. Three-hit night already for Jamie Carroll. Up high, 2-1. All the pressure in the world's on Dan Wheeler.
We'll take a look here. You got Jamie Carroll at the bat. You got Sullivan at first, Eli at second, Barmas at third. Todd Helton on deck.
Foul tip, evidently. The ball glanced off the bat, and it's 2-2.
Just couldn't quite hold up on this. Good fastball down at the knees. Jamie started to go after it. Marty Foster heard the tip. But this is where Jamie Carroll's at his best. When 2 strikes, chokes up on the bat, doesn't try to do too much.
Jamie's got quick hands. 4 runs on 8 hits for the Rockies, 4 runs on 8 hits for Houston. The difference in this game, 2 big errors on the Houston Astros, both led directly to runs. And the Rockies trying to capitalize here in the bottom of the 9th. Inside 3-2. Where Wheeler and Carroll have gone as far as they can go. Nowhere to put them for Dan Wheeler. And Jamie Carroll, one of the best eyes on the Colorado Rockies. He will force him to throw a strike. Here we go, 3-2. Rockies have won it. Jamie Carroll jogs to first. Clint Barmas jogs to the plate. And the Rockies have a most gratifying 5-4 come-from-behind win over the Houston Astros. What a way to start the weekend. Down 4-0. The Rockies come all the way back. And they win on a bases-loaded walk by Jamie Carroll. And he is our Gatorade player of the game. 3 hits tonight. And the biggest play he made was when he didn't swing the bat on a 3-2 pitch.
Well,